The problem with being my size and buying double extra large shirts is they don't fit right. And then you go to buy a triple extra large shirt.
And it really doesn't fit.
It really doesn't fit right because it's just way too fucking big. So I guess I got to put the fork down.
Look at that thick cork.
Thick. Yeah. Yeah.
And it actually steps out.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. And the stop, it does here too, doesn't it? Yeah. And the stopper's taller.
Yep.
And it almost looks.
I mean, that's.
Yeah, it's like it's a
way
wider.
Bigger.
It's a wider neck.
Yep.
Very cool. It just got to be that style bottle. That style bottle kind of reminds me of the Junction 35. Off the rails.
Yep.
But much bigger. I think that was like a 375.
Look how thick that bottom is.
Thick. Yeah. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
We love our thick bottoms.
That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. What do you say we get started?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Welcome to the Savor the Bourbon podcast. My name is Jonathan. This is Mr. W2. How you doing?
Doing good.
Doing good?
I'm excited. We're in the thick of it. We're in Derby Day weekend.
Day 2, episode 2.
And
part 2, whatever, of Derby Day weekend. And
I don't think you can have Derby Day without talking about Woodford.
Yeah, Woodford Reserve. It's they go hand in hand.
In fact, I just saw the other day that they just released their 150th anniversary commemorative.
Yeah, with that special label.
Mm-hmm. Maker's Mark also has one.
Oh, they do?
But yeah. But
yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, I sent a picture of it to you. I'm like, have you seen this before? You're like, yeah, they do that every year. I'm like, of course you've seen it.
Yeah, but this year is the 150th anniversary, so it's a little bit special label. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour this one up too.
Yeah. We can.
Good night. Look at that.
Thick. Yeah, let's do a side by side here.
I guess we should tell viewers what we're getting into here.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, you can't really talk about Derby Day without getting into Woodford Reserve.
Yeah.
And what we've got here is and really for the point of comparison, because we've had it before.
We have.
But we don't have a rating out on the website, so this is a good opportunity for us to give it a good solid rating, but also be able to do a comparison. So we've got the Standard Woodford Reserve, which comes in at 90.4 proof. Mm-hmm. I don't have any of the details. I neglected to actually do that.
I don't have details, but I've got tasting notes for the original.
Excellent.
For the original on here. It smells good.
So, and what we have here is the Woodford Reserve Master Collection Batch Proof. This is the 2024 release. It comes in at 121.2 proof.
That's a pretty high proof. I can't even get it out. That's a pretty high proof. So we've talked about what does barrel proof mean. What does single barrel mean? What does small batch mean? All right, I'm sorry. What does batch proof mean?
Woodford Reserve puts out. I'm
good with that.
They
my kind of distillery.
They put out 2 offerings that they classify as their master collections.
It is darker.
They may have more than that, but there's 2 that I know of, and one of them being their batch proof. So batch proof, it's not single barrel. It is a batch barrel proof.
You need a little more of that one.
Do I?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So, like you were saying.
All right. So I'm gonna just dig into what kind of some of the stuff I've got.
Yeah. What all can you tell us about it?
So this is the Woodford Reserve Master Collection 2024 batch proof release, which comes in at 121.2 proof.
That's decent proof.
It is a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey distilled by Woodford Reserve in Kentucky. On average, this is a 4 to 6 year old bourbon. Like I said, 121.2 proof. Classified as a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. And it says, batch proof is a celebration of Woodford Reserve's proprietary process, blending barrels into a batch and then bottling the whiskey as its actual proof.
Okay.
Straight from the barrel. Batch proof is crafted using the same grain bill and process as Woodford Reserve Kentucky straight bourbon. The 2024 edition is 121.2 proof. So as I kind of started doing a little bit of research on this, I did notice from year to year, very similar to the Bookers and things like that, a lot of your single barrel type stuff, your proof kind of varies from batch or barrel because all of the things go into what make that bourbon what it is.
Yeah, fluctuations in weather, where it is in the warehouse.
So it says batch proof, however, takes Woodford Reserve's trademark flavor range of sweet vanilla and toasted oak to a whole new level, offering consumers the privilege of tasting Woodford Reserve in its purest form and not the standard 90.4 for which Woodford is known. I may be wrong, but I'm fairly certain Woodford Reserve does not offer a cask strength or a barrel strength version of this.
I'm telling you, man, we got to break
because that's what this is.
We got to break in and steal a barrel.
That is actually what this is, and you are absolutely right. That is definitely a darker color.
It's just this is the higher proof, and this is proof down, so it's got more water. It makes it more accessible to the average drinker, the average whiskey enthusiast.
For 121.2 proof. It doesn't scald the nostrils.
It does not.
It smells like bourbon.
It's got heat. It does smell like bourbon, yeah. It's got its caramel notes. It's, caramel, maybe a light citrus, oak. We picked up dried fruit, maybe raisin on this one, maybe. But
let's get into the regular.
Yeah, the regular is... that smells light. It smells like welcome home.
Yeah, I mean you can't go wrong with that. I mean that's solid.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of bite. I wouldn't call it a burn so much, but
it's not overly sweet, but it's got
it's got rye in it.
Really good. Yeah, rye.
It is
vanilla,
sweet.
Some caramel.
Vanilla caramel.
Maybe brown sugar.
You think so? Yeah. Of the sugars, it's not like confectioner's sugar. The original has everything we generally love about bourbon. And I would even call this it doesn't hit like a 4 proof. It hits like an 80 proof.
You think so?
Yeah, it's not. It's not overbearing.
It's definitely easy drinking.
Yeah, it's super easy drinking. This is, I would call this a dangerous bourbon because it's just so easy to drink.
I'm going to leave a little bit of that one. And I'm ready to visit this one a little bit.
Yeah.
There's definitely a little bit more of an ethanol on the nose from the original. But other than that,
something on there.
A lot of the usual suspects.
Yeah, I mean, plus it's got rye in it, so that's the burn that kind of gets you by the tongue. This, like you said, the ethanol.
Yep.
I mean, it's just
vanilla,
so much higher proof.
Pecans.
I might be picking up a cereal grain. Yeah, and so this is just 100% American oak, isn't it? It's not aged in anything else.
Correct. Yep. Is there some citrus?
I thought there was on first pull. I thought there was.
And then some baking spice.
Maybe that's what I was thinking with the cereal.
It's got great legs.
Right. Yeah. And if you wonder what we're talking about with the legs, no, it doesn't have, whatever. I don't know what that means. But I'm talking about the little, like if you swirl it like so, let me get that calmed down a little bit. You swirl it like so and make sure that the juice gets up here on the side. Then after a few seconds, you start seeing these little rivulets, or however you pronounce it, show up on the side of the glass. And if you do that with water, you'll see it kind of beat up on the side and look all splotchy and kind of unattractive. You look at this, and it's just a lot of lines going up and down from that ring where it touched up at the top. And there is a little bit of spotting up here at the top, but everything else is nothing but lines down there. Yep. And early on, we talked about it. You had mentioned there are some people can tell what distillery it is.
Yeah, by the legs.
By the legs. How fucking wild is that? Like,
crazy.
Yeah.
Let's get
let's get it on the palate.
All right.
Yeah, that's got like the same amount of spice.
There's a lot going on.
Oh, wow. Actually, spice heat kicked in later. Yeah.
There's definitely a peppery spice to that.
I wasn't expecting that. The proof, the 121 proof, definitely hits you. It's a lot more oaky on the tongue, I think.
Is there chocolate on that?
Is that what you're picking? You're picking up chocolate?
Yep. Like some hot cocoa chocolate. I think there's pineapple on that.
Pineapple. Yeah. I don't know if I'm picking up on pineapple, but the chocolatiness is there. It's not super pronounced. Not to me anyway, but it's definitely there.
No, just a little bit of that citrus bite that pineapple has.
Yeah, like citrus and chocolate. My tongue stopped working there for half a second. Citrus and
it's at 121.
It's got to be, yeah. Like a bee sting on the tongue. Hey, guys, what's going on? Start talking like Daffy Duck.
Thuffer and thuckatash.
Thuffer and thuckatash. Yeah, this is something, especially compared to the original.
Yeah.
Wow. Holy smokes.
I love
where did you get that bottle?
I love the shape of this bottle. I was in visiting our good friends at Ryman's.
At Ryman's, okay.
In Prairie Village. And before I knew it, my buddy there, he kind of disappeared, and he came back. And this time around, he actually, like, I'm standing in the aisle, I'm kind of just scanning down, looking for anything new, and I feel the set of eyes looking at me from behind me. So I slowly kind of turn around, and I see him kind of leaning like this from around the corner, and he goes...
Gives you the heads up thing, huh?
So I'm like, and I'm looking around thinking, well, maybe he's motioning to someone else that works there or something. And I look around, and he goes, like, no, dummy, you. So I'm like, oh, all right. So I come around the corner, and he's standing there holding like 4 different bottles.
Wow.
He's like, I wasn't really sure what all we had that you might be interested in. We got some things that are a little bit better than other stuff, and he's just kind of started ramming through this. And before he even read what this one was, I saw the shape of the bottle, and I was just like,
no fucking way.
I think I know what that is. And then, I was like, oh, that's the Master Collection. Batch proof, yep. Gotta have that. I've seen it on their website, but I've never seen it in the wild. And so I was just like...
Let alone be presented to you.
Yes, please.
That's that damn respect we're talking about. We go places, we get recognized. They're like, hey, come here. Let's see what you got. Instead of getting mugged in a street corner, we get offered some sick bottles, man.
Some hard-to-find bottles.
Yeah.
So, love it. No, man, this is great.
Yeah. You can't talk about Derby Day without talking about Woodford Reserve. And
what are you drinking for Derby Day? What cocktails are you making?
Right. Chances are
probably
you're making
a mint julep.
A mint julep, just like we made, and in the bonus you guys saw. But
there's a lot of variations on that too.
There are with as many different bourbons as you got, as many different, different like 2 or 3 different types of mint that you might use. You might use spearmint or peppermint or fucking minty basil or some shit. But I mean, there's got to be 100 different ways to make it. Let us know your favorite way to make it. You can send that into info@savortheburn.com, probably W2@savortheburn.com. He's the mix master extraordinaire. Or go ahead and send it to me, Jonathan@savortheburn.com. I'll forward it to Mr. W2.
So we've started doing not all the time, all the time it doesn't make sense, but something like this where we're actually comparing products from the same distillery, and in fact, in this case, it's the exact same mash bill, it's the exact same distillation. It's just what they've done with it that's different.
Yeah.
This is proofed at 90.4. Is that correct?
Yeah, 90.4.
This is 121. So this is your full barrel strength, whereas that's proof down. So there's Ozzy.
Hi, Ozzy.
He's coming to get his Derby Day on also.
Ozzy likes to ride horses.
So, but something like this where we're comparing and actually kind of reviewing side by side, it makes sense to do them both at the same time instead of doing two separate.
It really does.
Episodes. So we started doing that more often. Yeah,
we always say it's unfair to compare, but we are comparing. But I think it's in a good way. We're not being competitive about it. Like, this one's so much better than the other one. They're both great in their own respect.
Yeah, we're comparing Woodford Reserve's kids.
Right.
We like this one better than Sally.
Right. Yeah. For me, I know we're not going to talk about it yet, but for me, I think that's pretty much an easy 4 on the bottle presentation.
Yep.
But we'll get to that. I got to do my math real quick.
Wow, I thought that would have been a little bit higher.
Did yours come out real low on the original? Or not really low, but just lower than you expected?
Yeah. Both of them actually came out lower than I expected.
Actually, after I let this sit for a little bit, I picked up serial notes on the nose on this one. I don't know if that's in the tasting notes or not, but there it is. Boy, you get your claws out of my pants, or Jennifer's going to have a talk with you. You don't care, do you? No, you don't care. What do you want, buddy? All right, fine. I'm picking you up.
Interesting.
You smelling the bourbon on my fingertips.
Right. You got some numbers?
Well, I mean, he's been distracting me, so I'm not sure. I don't have my my batch proof. Here it comes.
Hello, eyes. I know.
I'm just gruntled. Man, I got to say that one's like way better, I think, than the original, but it's batch proof, so it kind of has to be. Palate. It's sweet where it needs to be. Mm-hmm. The proof isn't offensive. It's there, and it lets you know it's there.
So is this a 700 milliliter bottle because it was just the right size bottle for it, or are they skimming it off the top?
You know what? Maybe those bottles aren't available in 750s. No, thank you. Maybe those are only available in like.
But that's what I mean.
275 and like it was for the off the rails Junction 75.
Well,
35. What?
I'm fairly certain, this shape bottle, and then also thinking about the Woodford Reserve Double Oaked, which is the same shape, it's just squattier and wider. It's thicker.
Oh, okay.
It's thicker and shorter.
They design their own bottles. They can make it whatever size they want, huh?
I feel like it is their unique bottle. I don't know if this is a unique bottle to Woodford Reserve, but it's definitely a unique bottle.
Yeah.
Why the hell?
I like it.
I don't know. It's just a question. I'm not mad. I'm not complaining. I just know that for the price, where's my extra 50 milliliters?
Yeah, right. So it's extremely hard to find. 2,
because that's a pour.
If and when you find it, it is. Yeah, if and when you find it, it's going to be. And God forbid you get it from somebody that's going to charge you second market. We didn't talk about second market prices on this one. Do you have a ballpark idea? What that would be?
You go online and this is
like Keg and Barrel.
Yeah, this is $2.99.
$2.99. Maybe even Flavier. I wonder why they would do this. Like it's a neck diameter here, but up here it's so much bigger.
And then
it almost goes
Even
up
bigger?
even more, because look at the size of this fucking cork in comparison.
That's a
look at that. Holy smokes.
So that reminds me of...
It's like taking a shower with my dad when I was a kid.
I wasn't going there, but...
Family show.
But it does remind me of, my freshman year at the Art Institute. At some point,
See a lot of wieners in the Art Institute.
Well, you do see a lot of wieners. you see a lot of everything.
I see a lot of everything.
Yep.
Anyway, that was a
side conversation. Very regularly coming home for the holidays or whatever, the first couple years, and getting together with family or whatever. My grandmother was the first and very quick to say, "Did you draw naked ladies?" Yes, Grandma. Yes, I did.
I'm such a fan. We did those all the time, Grandma.
But anyway, my freshman year,
if you'd hold still long enough, I would draw you.
I remember
magnificent white bush.
I just can't now.
Come on. No, I'm sorry. I'm a weapon of mass distraction.
You ruined me. No, but I remember one project we did my freshman year where we had to do a self-portrait.
Mm-hmm.
So, over the weekend, I'm up late, I'm drawing, I'm wadding it up and throwing it away and starting all over again. Finally, I did a self-portrait, and Monday comes along and everyone hangs them up on the walls, and we kind of just go around the walls and, doing a critique. Our teacher is critiquing, also inviting others to kind of comment or whatever. And it gets to mine, and this is freshman year, so teacher's still getting to know us and where we're from and all this stuff. And it gets to mine, and the very first thing, and clearly this has scarred me, and because it's just it's seared in my brain. 20 years later, actually more than that. No,
we'll stick to 20.
I'm going to stop right there. But he turns to me and he goes,
"Excuse me.
Where are you from, Wayne?" I'm like, "St. Louis." He goes, "St. Louis," and this is mid-90s. Actually, early 90s.
Early 90s was not good in St. Louis.
Well,
so it wasn't really good in downtown Kansas City either.
So he goes, "St. Louis. St. Louis doesn't have a football team." Because the Cardinals had moved to Arizona. It was pre-Rams. St. Louis did not have a football team. But the first thing he says is, after he asked me, "Where are you from?" I'm like, "St. Louis." He's like, "St. Louis. St. Louis doesn't have a football team. Why did you draw your neck that fat?"
What do you say to that?
I just crawled into a corner and...
Yeah.
I was done for the day.
Wow.
So back to this bottle.
I have this thing where somebody comes to me with any inkling of condescension, and I immediately go, "Because fuck you, that's why." And I just, and it's not good. It has not been good for my career development or whatever. That's why I paint in the corner of a warehouse for 25 years. You know how they say don't paint yourself into a corner? I made a career out of it. But hey, whatever. All right, so we have not gone over numbers yet. Before we go over numbers real quick, I'm going to dip into the Kansas City Whiskey Guild.
Yeah.
Because as of right now, during this the time of filming here on the podcast, I am still.
Are you still suspended?
I'm still suspended from Whiskey Tribe. Yeah,
Should I start doing your posts to see if I get suspended?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why I got. I mean, I was given nothing in my messages to tell me why it was that I'm being suspended. But I mean, I'm not banned, but I'm suspended for a while, and until that lifts, I'm not able to comment or like.
But you can see things
or share. But I can still see things.
You can still browse.
Yes. People are going to be. Some people aren't happy unless they're mad about something. But maybe that's what happened to me. I fell victim to that in the whiskey tribe. But here in the Kansas City Whiskey Guild, they recognize the fact that we're kind of a big deal, and I'm associated with that big deal. So when I post things, people respond, and this one has 2 responses to it. Jason says, going back to the other episode, I've not had the store pick Angel's Envy, the Bubbles pick, but other Angel's Envy picks I've had are way, all capital, better than their normal offering. But Adam, he chimes in on the Woodford Reserve here, says, I enjoyed the 2024 Reserve release of the Woodford Reserve Batch Proof, and that's what we have here.
Oh yeah,
pricey but delicious, and glad to have one bottle in my cache.
Girl, same.
Yeah, and we're gonna end up, and we use that to make a cocktail with. If you remember that from just a short, 24 to 36 hours ago.
Yeah.
Mint julep, and you got to see us in our ridiculous hats. W2, what did you give the original Woodford Reserve, the 90.4 proof on the nose?
I gave it 3.75. Damn,
I gave it a 3.75.
It felt low when I was giving it, but I'm also kind of just, again,
I think that's fair. It's a rating of 1 to 5.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about it and we stress it's not fair to compare, and we try real hard to not compare.
I don't think we did.
And I don't feel like I'm comparing it to anything, but I am also thinking about what I've given other things on the nose and where this kind of falls into place. But I think 3.75 is a fair assessment. It's not a single barrel. It's not a store pick. It's not a allocated bottle. This is on every shelf of every liquor store.
Anybody can get this.
Yeah.
It's widely available, and that's really good.
And that's not a bad thing, because it's a great bourbon that you can get anywhere, and it's not that expensive. It's $32 bottle, if that. Maybe it might even be $28 bottle.
Yeah, or it's free if your bass player's birthday comes up in August, and you just happen to be at Red X on the 4th of July, and you're like, hey, my guy likes this shit. I'm gonna get him a bottle. For his birthday.
And I appreciate you.
Damn Skippy. Yeah, anybody that shows up to W2's door with a bottle of free Woodford Reserve, it's going to be a friend. You're getting a hug. Brothers don't shake hands. Brothers give hugs. Yeah, dude. And you were walking around with your tiara and a sash.
Oh, I had the sash and the little tiara going on.
That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. You were out there playing what is the beanbag toss?
Uh-huh.
What do they call it? The cornhole. Yep. With Jeff and a couple of people.
Anyway. Well, and I forget. I think I had set a time to start. Everything like at 3 or 4 or something like that.
Yeah.
And so, I'm mad scrambling around. We're trying to get everything ready, get everything just right. Last minute cleaning and all that. But then when that time rolled around, I was like, no one's here yet, but guess what?
I'm starting.
This motherfucker's going to get a drink on.
Yeah.
And so I poured myself a drink. I went and sat on the patio, and I'm like, someone's going to show up at some point.
You know what? Before a big gathering, and you do all that last minute stuff, like you said, the cleaning, the preparation, the cooking that Miss Katie has done, and you've got a 3-year-old at the time running laps through the house and outside of the house, and then back into the house, and then out of the house and back into the house. Like, where does he get this energy? Oh my God! But you just need a little something. Calm the fuck down, because the party hasn't even started, and you're like,
yeah.
But
it was a good time.
Yeah. How about the palate? What did you give it on the palate?
I gave it a 4 even.
4 even. I gave it a 3.75.
All right.
There's nothing negative against it, because 4 even is super close to 3.75.
Nope.
It means we both liked it a lot on this 1 to 5 scale.
How
about the finish?
I stuck with the 4.
You stuck with a 4. For me, I dropped it down to a 3.
Okay.
Because even though it's unfair to compare,
it's not a long finish.
We're drinking it right next to each other,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to think, how do others finish? And this one finishes well. It's short. It's a short finish.
Yeah, it doesn't linger and stick with you.
Yeah, as far as like the warmth goes, that Kentucky hug. But still, I mean, after that warmth is gone, there's still a little bit of sweetness on the palate. There's still a little something there.
Yep.
So it's definitely nice. It's got the caramel, the vanilla, a light citrus, a light oak. And I swear I'm tasting mint. I'm not sure. Maybe it's the dogwood. Maybe it's the
on that.
Yeah,
mint
on
that.
on
Okay.
this.
Okay.
Yeah, are you picking it up on that one?
Well, that's what I thought you were talking about. So I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I had not.
Yeah, maybe it's all the Bradford pears in bloom. I don't know, but I'm like slightly stuffed up here on the nose.
There's cereal grains again on the empty glass.
Yes. Why is it that I don't pick up on cereal grains until
the glass
is empty? It's got to be something psychosomatic about it. How about bottle presentation?
Give it a 4.
You give it a 4 even? I gave it a 4 even.
Very nice.
Because it's got I like it because
it's unique.
It's unique because it's like a flask style. When you've heard us talk about a flask style, do we have a flask down here? You've seen a flask, right? It's usually shaped like this. Usually there's a bit of a curve to it because it's something you slip in your back pocket and your breast pocket. So it's flask shaped. It's not flask contoured, but it's flask shaped. There's a lot of sound in there, the S and the K. It's got this indented Woodford Reserve insignia. You've got the dark wood, what'd you call this? Mahogany, whatever, stopper, and a natural cork, which I'm a bigger fan of. It's got neck label.
And the label? Yep.
The tape over. And a little bit of a neck label with the WR you can see on the back. Batch. It tells you up here on the front, a truly unique proprietary batch bourbon of unparalleled quality. And that's its sales pitch right there on the fucking neck. And then you got the legal information on the back. But on the front is the information you really kind of want when you're trying to feel something out. You got the 750 milliliter, so you know how much you're getting.
Little bit of that copper type metallic ink on the label.
Like a little bit of a ticket style label.
It is kind of a ticket. It's got the little divots on both sides of it. Yep.
You got your master distiller signature, the bottle number, the label batch number. I'm not sure what the label batch means. Maybe in your travels you'll find out. Have you been to Woodford Reserve?
I have not.
Distillery. Okay. It tells you what your proof is and all the things that you normally look for and that kind of thing. So for me, it was an easy 4.
And I don't know where my bottle ended up. I'm kind of looking back here, but I don't see it. I have an empty bottle of this that I had for my anniversary.
Oh,
a year ago.
That might be in your other one.
It's somewhere.
Special cabinet.
But just a side note that
sitting next to that Weller
makes me love Woodford that much more is you go onto their website. They have a whole section on there where you can go on there and do for free. Does not cost anything. You can register and you can actually create your own custom label. So you can put in your own information. Miss Katie did, and put in our wedding anniversary information, and so hit submit, and it arrived, and she she went out and she bought a bottle like this, and it's this exact size, exact shape. It looks like this and it's designed to actually kind of go right above this label right here, and
so it was just the sticker that showed up. Okay.
Yeah. So she locally got the bottle herself and then put the label on there, and it's just a great personalized piece that, like I said, makes me love Woodford Reserve that much more because
and her
100%.
Very cool. How about what? So all that added up. Our rating system goes as follows. We have 4 categories. We have nose, palate, finish, and bottle presentation. And so we take all those numbers from a 0, not a 1 to 5, but a 0 to 5. I think we've said 1 to 5 several times, but it's 0 to 5. And I couldn't imagine what a 0 bottle would look like, or a 1 bottle would look like. But anywho, so we go from 0 to 5, and we give that a rating. We add all those 4 categories up, and we divide that by 2, and that's how we end up with our final score. So all that said, you got 375 and 3 4.0s. Added all that up, and divide by 2, and what do you got?
7.875.
So 7 and 7/8, if you're into the fractions. Do you feel happy with that score? It's almost an 8.
I
It's
do.
an eighth of a point off from an 8.
Yeah, for some reason, when I added it all together, it seemed low to me.
Right.
But
mine did too. Mine was a 7 1/4. And I really like this, and I don't know.
It's a solid bottle.
It is a solid bottle. I feel like 7 1/4 is a bit.
It's not a Stag.
It's a bit low.
It's not a Weller 107. It's not a Booker's. It's not an E.H. Taylor.
It's not an E.H.
But
it's a solid bottle.
It is solid.
It's
all day long.
It's every day anybody can grab it.
Yep.
It's a solid everyday pour.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it. So just because I give it a 7 1/4 doesn't mean it's not somebody else's 8.5.
Right.
It's almost an 8 for this guy, and he loves this shit. So it's not shit. Sorry, Woodford Reserve. Your passion project is not shit. It's not a passion project. That's Ghostwood. But so let's turn the page.
Let's get into this one.
Let's turn the page over here on the I just got bourbon on my paper. How'd that happen?
And we dribbled it
Whiskey
all down
happens.
the iPad.
Oh, you did? No shit.
It's waterproof, so it's all right.
I bless you real quick. I'm ordained. I can do that. So Woodford Reserve batch proof
Master Collection,
121.2%. On the nose, I gave it a 4 1/4.
Girl. Same.
Woo, good times. On the palate, I gave it a 4 1/2. I thought it was just that much better.
Girl. Same.
Stops copies me. Where'd you put it on the finish?
Another 4.5.
All right, I dropped it a little bit. I went back down to 4 1/4.
Okay.
Bottle presentation.
I gave this.
I'm interested in what you have to say about this.
I gave this one a 4.5.
You gave it a 4 1/2?
I did.
So you gave the original a 4, but you gave this one a 4 1/2.
I did.
Please talk to me why.
So
This one for me, I did compare. I did compare the two.
It's a very simple bottle. There's nothing overly wow about it, but it is a very unique bottle.
If something wowed you, it'd be 5.
It is squared.
Yeah.
With rounded corners
I like.
and a slight
shouldering.
Slight shoulder. Super heavy, thick bottom.
Yep.
I'm not, other than I do, because I poured these into our glasses and I appreciated the extra wide mouth on there because it poured a little bit smoother. I don't know why they did that, but this is one honking stopper on top of here.
Yeah.
Which I think
it's got to be different. It's
cool. It takes it a step up. It is cool. It's super simple. It's not overly complicated. It's basic information. On the front, on the back, it just has the barcode and the Surgeon General warning. If you're pregnant, don't drink this.
Please don't. Please don't. It's 121.2 proof. Please don't drink it.
Yeah.
Stick to a glass of wine per night if you have to drink.
So, all that said, I gave it a 4.5.
This is coming from dads. Like, we don't want our kids to grow up with fetal alcohol syndrome. Please don't.
So, yeah. What'd you give it?
Where is it? I gave it a 4 even.
Okay.
Because to me, it was roughly
So you gave both of these a 4.
I gave them both a 4 because I like the flask style bottle.
Yeah.
I like this. I don't know what to call it, man. I just call it a grenade.
I don't either.
I call it a grenade style bottle.
It's a World War II grenade, right?
Yeah, right. It's not a pineapple, but it's like a World War II grenade. It looks like something you'd fucking throw at a Molotov cocktail.
Or World War One.
It's so thick. Yeah, World War One, maybe. I don't know. Something about it reminds me of a grenade. But I mean, it had this cool topper. It's got
the neckband
label.
The neckband on it is a leather texture with a little bit of a stitching. Yeah, a faux stitching.
Yeah, the other night at Westport Bowery, I'm wearing like a leather bracelet cuff thing, and it's got stitching along the outside edge, and that's exactly what's going on here. Yeah, like I dig the bottle. I like it, so that's why I gave it a 4.
Cool.
You know, it didn't come in a bag. It didn't come in a box.
No.
It didn't come in a wooden case with an acrylic front.
It didn't
come with a barcode to give you its life through the rick house. But
even though this is all
very cool, and I really do like it.
Even though this is all about the Derby Day,
all about Derby Day,
there's not a little horse rider on the top of it.
It doesn't need it. It doesn't need it.
They might get sued if they tried that.
Might. I guarantee it. But I really did like how it was. It's darker, and that showed up in the dram. Like I thought,
look
maybe
at that color difference.
Because like you see the size difference in the bottle, the width. I thought maybe since this one was wider or deeper, maybe that was causing the color difference. But no, it's the barrel strength of it that's giving it the color difference. This one, saying it's watered down it's not watered down. Woodford Reserve is not watered down.
Proofed down.
But it's been proofed down. Same thing, I think. I think we're splitting hairs. But
totally.
All that to say, I really think I really think it's a great bottle, and I think a 4 even is a good score.
Sure.
I think 4.5 is an even better score. So what did you give it on the final score? All that added up, divided by 2.
8 7/8. 8.875.
8 7/8. All right, I gave it 8.5. So that's
we're super
everything.
Close.
We are super close. We're not far off from one another. So this one here, I think for any Woodford Reserve enthusiast, this would be the bottle to get. I don't know what else that they have in their collection, what else they have in their offering. I don't know or think, honestly, that they have a rye. They do have their anniversary collections that they let out, but that are different labeling.
Yep.
For the original.
The Kentucky Derby.
The Kentucky Derby.
Yep.
Anniversary.
Yep. It's this bottle labeled differently.
That's all it is. It's the same juice on the inside.
And no, but it's the same shape bottle.
Yeah.
Just different labeling.
Different labeling. Okay.
That's what I meant by that. But you are right.
So the juice on the inside is different?
No, juice is the same.
Okay. And that's a good thing, honestly, because this is good. This is really good. Yeah. This is a lot better, in my opinion, but this is very good. It's very good. I would not be upset to find this mysteriously showing up in my whiskey collection, my bourbon collection at home. I would not be upset about that. I'd be like, hey, Wayne, guess what I'm drinking tonight? Mr. W2, how do you do?
Kind of like I do from time to time.
From time to time, yeah. You're like, hey, guess what I'm drinking tonight? I'm like, I don't know. Let me tell Twitter about it. But, yeah, so this Woodford Reserve Batch Proof Masters Collection, 121.2 proof, is it's a force to be reckoned with. If you're a fan of Woodford Reserve,
so good.
And you want to see what the original would taste like on another level, and if you can find it at somewhere closer to MSRP than a second market pricing would be, and you're a fan. Enthusiast of Woodford Reserve in particular, definitely check it out. There's no reason not to check it out. That's just what I think about it. What do you think about it? Do you have any final thoughts on this Woodford Reserve Batch Proof?
Beyond I like it.
Beyond I like it, because Woodford Reserve specifically is your fucking jam, dude. Like for me, Jim Beam. For you, sure. Woodford Reserve.
Yeah, I think this is phenomenal. I was a little surprised my score wasn't just a little bit higher.
Dude, me too.
On this. But, it is what it is. As we've gotten into this podcast, I have found myself enjoying to drink higher and higher proofed whiskeys.
Yeah.
And 121, it drinks great.
It does.
It drinks really good.
It doesn't. It kind of slaps you a little bit in the face like a friend would, but not like a soon-to-be ex-lover would.
Sure.
We've all been there.
Ow.
So, thank you for watching this episode 2 of the 2 of 2 of the Derby Day collection of Woodford Reserve. I'm glad we finally got to put a number on this.
Yeah.
So by the time you hit savorthebourbon.com/liquor cabinet and scroll down in the bourbon selection for Woodford Reserve, you're actually gonna see our ratings pop up there, and we have ratings for just about everything. Not everything, but just about everything.
There's a handful that still are unrated, but
yeah. And if you go to our YouTube and check all our shorts, and you go through the Advent calendar stuff, we didn't write any of those down on the website, and for good reason, because we didn't have the bottle in front of us. So if you want to send us a bottle of anything on that list in our Advent collection, please do send W2 a message, W2 at savorthebourbon.com or info@savorthebourbon.com. That's our general email. I think I've already talked about our emails, haven't I?
Yeah.
If I haven't, tell me how redundant I can be at Jonathan at savorthebourbon.com. So as always, thank you for watching on YouTube, and if you're listening on your favorite podcast app of choice, we definitely thank you as well. Please continue to stay tuned in, and really, just honestly, no matter who you are and what you're drinking, where you're drinking, or who you're drinking it with, never forget, dear listener,
keep on burning.